When thinking of spring break locations, you probably think of destinations like South Beach or Cancun, the Florida Panhandle or Baja California, where between strings and thongs and whatever else works for outerwear these days, there's little left to the imagination. But what if I told you there's another option? Another destination that's not only landlocked, but has just 2 naturally formed lakes in the entire state. Feast your eyes on Lake Havasu City, where it's always sunny, always warm, and the man-made lake feels like enhanced Mother Nature drew you a bath. Formed by yet another dam in the Colorado River, what exactly makes Lake Havasu City so special? The original London Bridge. Yeah, that London Bridge. And it's what brought me here. The funny thing is, I lived in Arizona for 5 years. Didn't have a clue I could have driven a few hours to the bridge. And the only reason I discovered it now was because I was zooming into the Colorado River on Google Maps and came across the city. Upon arriving, the area around the bridge is interesting. The surrounding buildings seem to have been designed to look like Europe by somebody who'd never actually left the state. There's a Tudor-style building housing a Mexican restaurant, a castle-shaped hotel thing, and well, I'm not even really sure what this is. And let's not forget the tiki bar serving fish and chips and margaritas overlooking the bridge. There's a bit of a Florida Panhandle type vibe to the area. Some touristy shops, and although it's not spring break, most of the people here look like they came down during spring break 40 years ago and never actually left. Around the bridge, there are plenty of monuments and icons to not only Robert McCulloch, the man who bought the bridge and imported it through the Panama Canal, but to London itself. Sometimes the monuments feel authentic, other times it feels almost like a caricature of itself. Like it would be more at home as a roadside Route 66 attraction than as the centerpiece of an actual city. Speaking of the city, when Robert McCulloch bought the bridge from London, the oil baron wanted to use it to generate tourism for Lake Havasu City, a town he founded a few years earlier. In 1970, the year before the bridge was completely installed, the city had a population of 4,000 people. A few years after, the population jumped to almost 16,000. It is now one of the most populated cities in Arizona that's not part of Metro Phoenix. Outside of the bridge, is there much to see? Maybe not, but there's enough water to keep you entertained, all for a fraction of what you might be paying to fly to Cancun or boozing it up in South Beach. And speaking of boozing it up, it's not the fusion dining experience I envisioned, but damn it, I ordered a fish and chips and margaritas. Because, after all, eating English food while drinking a Mexican cocktail makes about as much sense as sitting next to the London Bridge while being drenched in Arizona sun.